Yo, what's up, guys? Joel Hoffman here, coming to you straight from the underground. Underground motivation, lifting people from rock bottom. So today's subject is dealing with suicidal thoughts. Man, this is one of the main reasons why I started this page, and one of the main reasons why I started speaking is because I lost so many close people in my life to suicide. And it's something that I struggle with myself, and I know it's something that the evil one is constantly trying to attack my brothers and sisters with. So what we're going to talk about is some ways to deal with these things and some of the reasons why people think this way. So what are some of the reasons why people may have suicidal thoughts? And the number one thing is a bad breakup. Like, a lot of times people go through really bad breakups. They invest so much emotional energy and they have so much tied to another person of their self that whenever they lose that person, or the thought of not being in a relationship with that person anymore is just so overwhelming that that person doesn't want to live anymore. Now, guys, I completely understand this. I've had my heart broke several times. It's one of the main reasons why I kept my guard up so long. It's hard to trust somebody. And whenever you do trust somebody, whenever you give somebody 100% of yourself and then you break up, it hurts, man. There's not a lot of words that can describe that pain. But what I can tell you is that no matter how attached you were to that person, or no matter how bad it hurts, that it's your life. This is your life to live. You can't sacrifice your life for their life. It's your life to live. What matters the most is your happiness, because whenever you go to the grave, you're going by yourself. Whenever you came into this world, you came by yourself. You owe it to yourself to be the best version of yourself and experience as much joy and happiness and as much as you can experience in this life as you can. You need to have the whole palate filled. You need to taste the full flavor of life. And you're not going to do that by allowing somebody else to make you feel bad about yourself, or allowing the loss of a relationship to keep you down in the dumps to where you just don't want to live anymore. You got to get your flavor for life back. I need you to get your spark back, because you are worthy. No matter how bad you may feel, no matter how much it may make you feel like shit that y'all broke up, you got to get your spark back, guys. You are special. You are one of a kind. There's nothing else like you, and you mean something to people out there in the world, and you have a purpose. You can't let other people dictate how you feel. Now, no matter what happened, I'm sure there's a little bit of some type of animosity, just a little bit. And so if you really want to get that person back, maybe they cheated on you, maybe they just did you really wrong. If you really wanted to get that person back, then you become everything that you wanted to be. You become the best version of yourself. You get yourself in shape. You make more money. You keep a smile on your face all the time, and you enjoy this life. And by doing so, that's how you can make those other people jealous and make them wonder, man, what the hell is different about that person? They're really living life now. They're different. And then that's how you get back at them, is by being the best version of yourself. And whenever you truly learn to love yourself, and whenever you're satisfied with yourself and you love yourself, then that right person will come along that will love you the right way. Whenever you're completely content with being alone, then you're able to give more to others. Then that right person will come along and be able to love you, and you'll be okay with them if they want to leave, because you know who you are. And from that point forward, once you know who you are, nobody else can touch you. No matter if somebody leaves, no matter if they say bad things about you, no matter if they cheat on you, whatever happens, you'll be invincible once you're confident in yourself and you love yourself. So start working on yourself, and stop letting this breakup, don't let it hurt you. So other things are, the next thing is a low self-esteem and low confidence. So it's like you feel like you're not worthy, right? I completely understand that. I've struggled with that for a lot of my life, just feeling like you're not worthy, like you're not good enough. And that's something that's hard to overcome. And a lot of times that comes from the painful and traumatic conditioning of our childhood. Somewhere along the way, somebody made you believe that you ain't shit, that you should feel like shit about yourself, that you shouldn't have any confidence. Somewhere along the way, somebody trampled all over your self-esteem, and you chose to identify with that. You chose to identify with the negative. What I need you to do is I need you to push away those negative thoughts and not identify with those negative thoughts anymore. Let that not be who you are, because a lot of times all that negative shit that you believe about yourself, that low self-esteem, it's just lies. It's negative lies that you allow yourself to believe. You'll take losses that you had in your life, that these L's that you took, and you'll let those be the defining moments of your life, whenever in reality you're capable of so much more. You're capable of so much more. So if you look at your W's, if you look at all the times that you've won, if you look at the fact that you're still here and you're still kicking, then you have victories that you can build upon, and then you can start building your character. You have to start taking massive action. If you're just sitting around all day and you're not doing shit, of course you're going to have low confidence. Of course you're going to have low self-esteem. But if you're doing things and you're working on yourself, you're working out, you're taking action to change, you're recognizing your mistakes and you're working on changing them. If you're doing everything you possibly can to better yourself, then you have something to be confident in order to give yourself a positive self-esteem. You have facts. You have these facts. Like, look at this fact. I got up and I worked out this morning. I read 10 pages of a book, or I read 20 pages of a book. I listened to positive motivational stuff, or I worked on my education, or I wrote down a list of weaknesses that I have and I worked on those, or I had a moment to where I was going to go into a normal negative emotional state, but I didn't. I changed that and I didn't allow myself to go into that negative thinking, and I focused on the positive and I overcame that negative thinking. All those things are victories that you can have in yourself to build your self-esteem, to change that positive, to change that negative talk to positive talk, in order to change the way that you filter and view things. That way you can have better behaviors and you don't have to fight so much negative shit inside you. You got to change the way that you believe about yourself. Stop believing that you're a piece of shit. Whenever you tell yourself negative things, if you tell yourself, man, you suck, or you can't do this, tell yourself the opposite. Fuck that. No, I don't suck. No, I can do this. You got to have that positive self-talk, guys, because if you keep telling yourself negative shit, then that's what you're going to get. And it's so much harder to overcome. You're going to give into so much more negative temptation. Of course, you're going to give into, think about suicidal thoughts and think about, not being here anymore whenever you're constantly barraging yourself and attacking yourself with all these negative thoughts. You got to turn those around and you got to change that talk. So there's this other thing. The next thing is Murphy's Law of what can go wrong will go wrong. Man, I watched my dad suffer from this damn negative way of thinking, and I watched a lot of other people suffer from this negative way of thinking, and I fell victim to this shit for a long time. And I'm gonna tell you, there's nothing worse than thinking like that. The law of attraction, the secret is you get what you focus on. So if you're always expecting things to go wrong, then guess what? That's what you're gonna get. Now, don't get it wrong. There's nothing wrong with building contingency plans and being cautious and being prepared. But whenever you're always expecting those things and you can just feel it in your gut and you're just waiting for those things to go wrong. You're just waiting for somebody to cheat on you. You're just waiting for somebody to lie to you. You're just waiting for somebody to steal from you. When you're just waiting and expecting all those things, then that's what you're going to get. You can't expect those things to go wrong. And then guess what? You need to have the attitude of being solution minded, because even if things go wrong, you got to know that no matter what, you're going to fix it. You're going to find a way to fix the problem. And then that's how you have this resolve about you that you can overcome anything. And no matter what comes your way, you can have this stoic foundation to know that you can handle this shit, that you're going to overcome it, that it will not break you. You know that nothing can break you whenever you have that positive mental mindset that you can fix whatever comes your way. So the next thing is constantly reliving painful past memories. I've been victim of this too, man. You go back and you regurgitate things and relive these constant painful memories. And a lot of times my problem was that I was choosing to go back and reliving these painful memories, and I was choosing to stay in that problem, and I was choosing to stay in this negative mental mind state where I was thinking about my loved ones that I lost, or thinking about my mistakes that I made, or thinking about all the things that I didn't have. I was just choosing to stay in those things. A lot of time I was drinking or using drugs, whatever, that way I could cope with those things, but I was just choosing to stay there. Like, there's a difference between remembering the things that happened or kind of reliving those things in order to rewire the way that you think about them, in order to redefine the way that you think about them, in order to change your perception. But it's a whole nother thing to keep going into those painful memories to where that's all you're thinking about, and you just could keep putting yourself in this you just want to cry. I don't have the word to describe it right now, but you just want to cry, and you feel this gut feeling, and it just hurts so bad. But the reason why you do that is because you know that that's what you have. You know that no matter what that you have the consistency of being able to go into that emotional state, and no matter what, you'll always have that sadness, that you'll always have that bad feeling. And that if you could have that, that's the only consistency sometimes that we have in our life, that we know that we can go through and go and have, is that emotional sadness and that emotional anger. So you can't keep going back and reliving those negative past experiences. You can't keep going back and living there. You have to understand that this is a different time. You're a different person. You have to forgive yourself, and you have to let those old things go. You can't keep going back and regurgitating those experiences. If there's some fear that comes from those things, then you have to attack that fear in order to overcome that thing. Because if you keep having the fear, if you keep giving into the fear about it, then you will continue to have to relive those past negative experiences. Just like overcoming heights. That's the only way I know how to explain it. If whatever fear it is, you have to attack it. Just like overcoming heights, you have to go somewhere high and overcome your fear in order to overcome it. So that's exactly what you have to do in order to not keep living in those past painful memories. So the next thing is that sometimes people just don't have a sense of purpose. They don't understand why they're here. They just don't really feel like they belong. This is another thing I completely understand. I didn't know why I was here. I didn't know who I was. I had a tough time identifying with who I was as a man, who I was as a person. If it wasn't for my faith in God and everything else, then I don't know if I would have been able to keep my shit together in those hard times. So I don't know what it is that you believe in, and I'm not here to convince anybody to believe what I believe, but find what it is that you believe in and have faith in that. Whenever you search for the light, you will find the light. Understand that everybody in this world is unique, and you all have your own special purpose, and you all have your own special gifts. You can do things in this world that maybe nobody else can do. You might be the best carpenter in the world. You might be the best bricklayer in the world. You might be the best psychologist in the world, the best counselor. You might be the best coach in the world. You might be the best teacher in the world. Success isn't always limited to the ability to make money and be a business person. There's a lot more value and riches that come to life than this. You might be the best musician in the world, but how would you know if you never picked up an instrument and tried to play because you were too scared that you would never be able to do that? Or you were too scared that it wasn't going to be for you, or you didn't belong in a band, or you couldn't sing, or it just wasn't possible for you. Those types of fears of feeling like you don't belong, or feeling like you don't have a purpose, or that there's nothing else in this world for you, those are the worst kind of fears to have. And you have to combat that. You have to believe and have faith that there is a plan for you and that there is a purpose for you. Okay, you have to have faith in that. You have to have faith in this goodness inside of you and the goodness in the world. You have to have faith in this love, this spark of love and this energy. You feel it. This is supernatural. It's something that's not explained by science. Science can't explain everything. So whenever you just have faith that you can't understand everything of the way that everything works and the way that the Creator put everything together, and maybe you can't understand about the sacrifices that were made for you, that if you just believe in your love and the love of everything that you can feel around you, and the frequency of love and the frequency of goodness and the frequency of truth and light, if you can believe in that and believe that there is a reason why you're here and never lose faith in that, then you can always have a reason to keep going. Then you can always have a reason for whenever those times in your head get dark and whenever the walls are closing in around you, of why this is the best part of your story, of why it's time for the comeback. You can always have a reason for why you go in that fire, of why you're experiencing this tremendous pain of this correction or whatever may be going through in your life, and you're going through this fire that you're becoming stronger. You can always have a reason in that if you know that you're here for a reason and that you have a purpose and that you have a gift, and there's things that you're supposed to do in this life, an impact that you're supposed to make on this world that no one else can make, that only your fingerprint can make, guys. So believe in that and never forget that. Always believe that you have a purpose. Always believe that you're special, because that's the most pure truth that I will ever speak to anyone, that you are special, that you have a purpose, and that you are gifted. Never, ever forget that, guys. And the last thing is that sometimes people, they want to give up on life is whenever they can't overcome their addictions, or they can't overcome their negative thinking, their negative emotions. Guys, I completely understand that. Some of the times that I thought about giving up on life was because I felt like I couldn't overcome my addictions, that I felt like I couldn't ever change my anger, that I felt like I would never stop being able to go, never stop having to go into this pit of depression, guys. And the truth is that I don't know if I'll ever not be able to get angry. I don't know if I'll ever not be able to get depressed again. As a matter of fact, I can pretty much guarantee you that I will feel those emotions again. But guess what? I know now that I won't feel that way forever, that these emotions and that these things that I go through, these ways of thinking, that they can change the way that I define them, but they come like seasons. They come and they pass. So whenever, even though if I might perceive something the wrong way and I feel this tremendous amount of disappointment, shame, guilt, and it leads to anger, that I will not feel that way forever. And so if I focus on my breathing techniques and all the things I need to do to calm that emotion down, to think clearly, to combat the negative thoughts and think positively, then I can refocus myself into being able to believe that I can. Now, whenever it comes to addiction and bad habits, I'm building a whole thing about that, guys. But what I can tell you is whenever it comes to all the bad habits, the addiction, the anger, and all that stuff, is like, you got to eliminate the word can't. You can't believe that you cannot. If you believe that you can't, then it's easy to give in. It's easy to give up, right? But you got to believe that no matter what, that if you keep persisting, that if you keep trying, that you will eventually be able to overcome that anger. You will be able to overcome that addiction. That if you believe that you can, that you will. And guess what? Whenever there's a will, there's always a way. So as long as you have a will inside of you, no matter how many times you failed, no matter what's going on through your head, if you have a will inside of you, then you can make it happen. It's possible. Look at what human beings, there's a light on, there's cars to drive, there's freaking planes flying in the air. Why? Because somebody had a will. Somebody told the people that was trying to fly that plane that you're fucking crazy, right? But they did it anyways. So somebody might have told you that you'll be an alcoholic or a junkie or an addict for the rest of your life and you'll never change. But guess what? If you have a will, you can make those people crazy. You can make those people wrong, and you can show them what's possible. You can show yourself what's possible. So what I need you to do is I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to believe that it's possible if you have a will. It might not be easy. As a matter of fact, it's going to be hard as hell, but you got to believe it's possible. You got to believe that you're not afflicted to live in your addiction or your pain for the rest of your life. You got to believe that there is a better way, that there is something on the other side of this. You got to believe that there's something on the other side of addiction. You got to believe that if you work hard enough and you work on everything that you can to change that part about you, and it's worth it to you to change, you got to believe it's worth it to change, then you can change. Now, put in the work to do it, guys. That's the thing. Like, you can't expect just to magically change all these negative things about you or to overcome your addiction just by the snap of the fingers. And then all of a sudden it all goes away and your life completely changes just because you snapped your fingers and said a magic prayer or something. Like, those prayers work, those spiritual awakenings happen, but it comes with a lot of hard work. You got to reprogram the mind, the subconscious mind. If you're thinking these negative thoughts and you have thoughts of suicide and all this, then your subconscious mind has been programmed fucked up. That's just the way it is. And we got to reprogram it. And it all starts with your initial core beliefs about what you believe about yourself and what you believe is possible, and if you believe you have a purpose or not. So listen to all the things I said in here and believe that you're worth it, guys. I love all you guys. I don't want to see anyone else be taken away from this world over giving up their own life, but for whatever reason that it may be. If you guys ever need any help, please message me, give me a call, whatever you need to do before you take your own life, guys. Call the suicide prevention hotline, call mental health counselors, go check yourself into the ER, call your family, call someone. Just whatever you do, don't give up. Never ever give up. That's the last thing you can do, is give up. You have a 1 in 400 trillion chance of being alive and being here right now. 1 in 400 trillion chance. It's not by chance, guys. It's for a reason. It's for a purpose. It wasn't a roll of the dice. It wasn't a roll of the dice. It was by design, and you were designed perfectly. Look at your immune system, the way your cells regenerate, the way your body can heal itself. It's amazing. You are amazing. Don't let anything or anybody make you believe that you are anything less than an amazing, beautiful creation. You have a purpose. Now, I want you guys to get all that negative shit out of your head. Change your life today. Change the way you think, and never think about taking your life again. That pain that you feel whenever you want to take your life, whenever you're having those thoughts, that same pain can catapult you to success. That same pain can be your fuel to do what's hard, to change yourself. You use that shit. You take that thing that you feel on your chest and you use that to not give up. You use that to fight back. You use that to not give up. You use that to keep going. Let that be your reason to keep going, to give that pain a purpose and never stop. And then you can be an inspiration to other people and tell them how you were on rock bottom and how you wanted to give up, but you didn't quit. And look how your life got better. And look where you're at now. And look how your life changed. Envision and imagine everything that you want to be, and then go become it. Go make it happen. And remember, guys, I love you. Never, ever give up.